Hello, and welcome to Live Now, where we are building technology together. My name is Ben Friedman, and today we are continuing our series of videos on how technology companies are managing with the current COVID-19 crisis situation. One growing problem for a lot of companies is the issue of data management, and so today we're very lucky to be joined by Theresa Miller of Cohesity to talk to us a bit about data management. But before we get into that, Theresa, let me ask you, how are things with you up there in Wisconsin? How is your family? How is the virus affecting you?
Thanks for asking. I think overall, we're pretty fortunate. The area that I'm in is not heavily hit at this time, but we are still practicing all the social distancing that's recommended. The kids are home, all that fun stuff. But we're doing well. How about you?
We're doing pretty good here. Arizona, I think, we're not too high on the fatality charts, but I think there's definitely that pull between wanting to stay safe and also wanting to sort of reopen the economy, which everyone I think is hoping will happen sometime soon. But let me ask you about Cohesity and data management. I know, well, first of all, even in Cohesity itself, I know there's been a big shift during this time to having people work remotely and work remotely from home or from home office. Have you seen that at Cohesity, and how has the company adjusted to that?
Yes, the decision to do that came really in alignment with the CDC recommendations, and with the company being in California, that actually has been going on now for several weeks. I think the company is adapting as a whole. Of course, the kids and the school closures do kind of change that dynamic of work from home that it once was. But I think overall as a company, we're doing very well with that.
Yeah, I think Cohesity has somewhere around 1,200 or so employees right there. Do you know, I mean, you may not know off the top of your head how many of those already had worked from home. I know being a sort of a technology company, you guys were always on the leading edge of some of these new work from home type things. But are you still doing meetings? Are you using Zoom and WebEx and those sort of tools?
Meetings are pretty well nonstop, that's for sure. We are using remote tools to accomplish that. And I'm actually quite thankful that we have those tools today, because I think in a different time, it would have really been hard to keep that face-to-face momentum that you need during something like this. It does at least create that connectivity that you wouldn't otherwise have if you couldn't see someone in person.
Indeed. So Cohesity deals a lot with enterprises and, of course, with enterprise IT departments. What has Cohesity seen? Which segments of that enterprise IT marketplace do you think has been hardest hit by this situation?
Yeah, I think that that's a really tough question to answer, because in terms of the impact, I think it's almost too soon. I know for me personally, if I were just to speak to my own opinion here, I know things that I'm watching are what companies are donating to help the cause. I think that shows strong financial foundations, who's doing layoffs, who's doing furloughs. I think in time, we're going to get a better picture of how IT enterprises are being impacted. But in the short term, those are the things that I know I'm personally watching.
Right. Of course, there's been a big move to the cloud over the last few years. A lot of people are now talking about VDI gaining in popularity. Talk to me about Cohesity and Cohesity's data management tools. What sort of tools does Cohesity have to help customers in this time and also moving forward?
Yeah, so Cohesity as a data management, data backup solution really is there to protect the data. Despite all of this going on, we do have a ransomware element, a ransomware detection component, which can be crucial. I think that detection and fast recovery during times like this, I think are critical. But outside of the product, I think really we do have some offerings. I think that those that are trying to still do data management well, but may need a little bit help, right? companies are trying to stretch budgets during this time because we don't know what's coming, that uncertainty. And so one thing we're offering is that if you buy any Cohesity data platform product, we're giving you 20 terabytes of data that can be used for the archive element. So you can maintain copies of your data with some support from us, right, with that storage element being included. The other thing that we have for companies that may be helpful is we now have a mobile app through our Helios offering. So if you need to manage your data protection solution, your Cohesity data protection solution remotely in a work from home setting and can't get to a computer, you can now do that from your iOS or Android device.
Interesting. And I know that Cohesity is not just about backup as well. You guys also have a play with secondary storage. You can run apps and such. Is that something you see as growing in demand right now?
I'm definitely seeing more. So I think the archiving offering that we have, I'm definitely seeing more of that interest at this time. You're right. We do have some of the storage elements to our smart files. But I really think that enterprises are looking to maintain a status quo at this time and just really trying to figure out how to keep what they have running and then make sure that they've got the ability to recover should some form of disaster set in to their data.
Definitely. So if people want to learn more, maybe they're having data fragmentation, they're having data management issues, where can people go to learn more about Cohesity, and what sort of resources do you have available for people who are looking to learn?
Sure. So the first thing is that the offerings that I mentioned, you can find on cohesity.com. /COVID-19. So if you need more information on those and how we're managing things, go there. We have a Cohesity YouTube channel. We have a lot of different product demos out there. We have light boards. We have a lot of visual information there. And then just the cohesity.com website as a whole has a lot of different white papers and articles that you can leverage to read up on. And for those of you interested in going a step further, you just need to work with one of our solutions providers or a local Cohesity rep.
Right. And last question, part of those resources, I assume, includes training and education as well. For people who are at home now, maybe it's a good time, especially if they're working from home and they are looking for a way to expand their knowledge about this. Are there educational resources there too?
Yeah, I would say that you'd want to start out with the Cohesity YouTube channel. We have really amped up on our demos. They're live demos. They'll show you the product. And I think that would be the best way to get educated on what we offer.
Fantastic. Theresa Miller for Cohesity, thank you so much for joining us today. We are actually out of time right now, but I want to thank you for coming on, telling us all about the Cohesity data management system and where people can find out information. This video is actually part of a series of videos that LiveNow is doing on how technology companies are managing with the COVID-19 situation. So please like and subscribe and check out the rest of those videos as they come out. In the meantime, I'm Ben Friedman. This is LiveNow, where we are building technology together.